Welcome to the first episode of Financial Literacy. Before we understand the concepts of personal finance and investments, in today's episode, we are going to learn a concept called inflation. At the end of every episode, I shall give you a small activity or ask a small question. If you are serious about learning finance, do the activity or find the answer to the question and give your response in the comment section. Okay, let's get started. We use money for buying goods and services. Now, who prints this money? Every country has a central bank governed by the government directly, which regulates the banking system and controls money supply. This central bank prints the money on behalf of the government. The Reserve Bank of India, shortly called RBI, is the Central Bank of India. Why can't RBI just print more money and distribute it to everyone so that there are no poor people in the country? Pause the video for a minute and think to find the answer. Okay, let me now help you with a situation to understand this better. Imagine there is only one shop in a village which sells wheat. The shopkeeper sells 1 kg of wheat for 50 rupees. He stores 100 kgs of wheat in his shop based on his experience. On an average, a person buys 2 kgs of wheat from the shop. Let us now assume that RBI prints more money and circulates among the public. What happens now? Everyone has more money now at their disposal. People who couldn't afford wheat earlier come to buy wheat now. People who were buying 2 kgs earlier want to buy 5 to 10 kgs. However, the shopkeeper has only 100 kgs of wheat with him and has not increased the supply of wheat. So, what happens now? With the increase in money supply, the demand for wheat has gone up. More people are ready to pay a higher price to buy the wheat. To make more profit, the shopkeeper increases the price of 1 kg of wheat from 50 rupees to 100 rupees. The demand, however, still has not reduced. People are fine to buy at 100 rupees and some are even ready to pay higher than that. The shopkeeper thus increases the price from 100 to 200 rupees per kg. Some are still fine with it and buy, and a few are still ready to pay a higher price. The shopkeeper then increases the price from 200 to 500 rupees per kg, and a few of them still go ahead and buy. This imbalance between high demand and limited supply causes price of goods to move up faster. Let me quote another example. In a recent IPL auction, the services of a couple of players were bought for over 25 crore rupees for the first time in the auction history. Why did the price balloon up to this level? Some of the owners had more money at their disposal as they had released a lot of players and there were only a handful of top rated players available in the auction who could be potential captains as well. So, with limited supply of such players and more money supply with the owners, the price kept shooting up and up. Hence, the prices in these examples went up primarily due to increase in demand. By now, you would have understood why RBI does not print money just like that and distribute among the public. Yes, this can cause a rapid increase in the prices of goods and services. So, to protect the balance between supply of money on one side and supply of goods and services on another side, the RBI prints money only to the extent of the value of finished goods and services produced in our country. This value of finished goods and services produced in a country is called gross domestic product GDP of a. The demand can increase due to other factors as well, like seasonal demand. For example, only during Diwali, the demand for crackers go up and so do their prices. Similarly, the prices of flowers increase during auspicious days and festivals due to increase in their demand. There is another situation in which the prices of goods and services increase without the increase in demand. Let us take the same example of wheat. The shopkeeper who sold 1 kg of wheat for 50 rupees per kg normally was buying them from a farmer for 40 rupees per kg. However, during a specific year, there was less rainfall and the farmer had to spend more money for irrigation to bridge the water shortfall for his crops. So his cost of production went up during that year and he increased the price from 40 rupees to 60 rupees per kg while selling it to the shopkeeper. The shopkeeper now in turn added his profit margin and increased the price further up to 75 rupees per kg while selling it to the final consumer. So here without any increase in demand, still the price of goods has gone up from 50 to 75 rupees for the final consumer. This was primarily due to the increase in cost of production. Inflation is nothing but the increase in price level of goods and services over a period. The price rise is caused predominantly due to two factors as we just saw. One is demand pull factor and another is cost push factor. So, a commodity whose price is X rupees today will keep moving up gradually over years due to these factors and may cost, say, 2x or 3x rupees after 10 to 15 years. With the same amount of money in hand, you will be able to buy a lower quantity of the product at that time. Let us take the example of petrol prices in India over the last 3 decades. If you see this table, notice if you had 100 rupees with you in 1990, you could buy 10 liters of petrol. But with the same amount, you could buy only 2 liters in 2010 and only 1 liter in 2025. So, inflation, that is, the increase in prices, causes the purchasing power of money to go down. In short, the value of money keeps moving down as years go by. Right. Now, if I give you two options, option 1, I give you 10,000 rupees today, or option 2, I give you 10,000 rupees 3 years later, which option would you choose? Most of us would choose the option 1 of receiving the money today. But why? As we just saw, with 10,000 rupees today, you can buy more things today than in the future. This is from spending point of view. However, from an investing point of view, you can invest this amount today for next 3 years and make the amount grow. So, if you deposit this amount in a bank fixed deposit, the bank pays you interest for 3 years, and at the end of 3 years, you will have 10,000 rupees plus interest amount in your hand. This is referred to as time value of money, which essentially means the present worth of money is more than its worth in the future due to its earning potential. Now that you have understood what inflation is, let us now see how inflation is measured in India. The goods move from manufacturer to wholesaler to retailer and then finally to the end consumer. At each level, the change in price of the goods over a period may be different. In India, the government measures the price change, that is, inflation, for a basket of goods and services at two levels. One at the wholesale level, that is, prices at which the goods are sold in bulk by manufacturers and wholesalers before they reach the final consumers. This is called Wholesale Price Index WPI. Two at the end consumer level, that is, the prices at which the goods are bought by the end consumer. This is called Consumer Price Index CPI. The average inflation rate CPI for last 15 years in India is around 6% per annum, which means the price of goods and services bought by end consumers has grown over this period at an average rate of 6% per annum. The government measures inflation every month, comparing the change in price level from the same month during the previous year. As of today, the CPI data of a month is released on the 12th of the subsequent month and the WPI data on the 14th of the subsequent month. So, if the government releases CPI as 6% during February, that is the data of January, it means that the prices of goods and services have increased by 6% from January previous year to January this year. Hope you learned something new today. Before we wind up, I shall give you a small activity as I promised at the beginning. But first, let us summarize today's learning. RBI prints money up to the value of finished goods and services produced in the country. Printing more money than this could cause an imbalance between supply and demand, leading to increase in prices of goods and services. The total value of finished goods and services produced in a country is referred to as its GDP, gross domestic product. The prices of goods and services can also increase due to increase in the cost of production. Inflation refers to the general increase in the price level of goods and services in a country and predominantly occurs due to demand pull factor or cost push factor. Inflation reduces the purchasing power, that is, value of money over time. Today's worth of money is more than its worth in the future due to its earning potential. This is called time value of money. In India, inflation is measured through Wholesale Price Index WPI and Consumer Price Index CPI. Activity time. Find what is the current gross domestic product GDP of India. 2. Find the latest WPI and CPI figures published by the Government of India. Find out and type your answers in the comment section. Let me see how many of you take this seriously. In the next episode, we shall learn the concept of interest and how inflation affects it. Hey, before you go, don't forget to subscribe the channel so that you get notified as and when the new episode is out. See you soon.